Hello, my friend. Welcome to another English learning video. Do you feel nervous when speaking English? Do you understand English but speaking is difficult? It is okay. Do not worry. This is very normal. But today I have something special for you. With this technique, you can speak English like a native speaker. It is called the shadowing technique. What is shadowing? It is simple. First, listen to each sentence carefully. Then repeat after me like an actor in a movie. Do not think too much. Do not translate. Just listen. Then speak. This trains your mouth, your brain, and your ears. And also, you can learn 20 English words from this story. Each word is highlighted in blue, and you can find them easily. Are you ready? Let us start. My name is Sarah. This is a story about my amazing adventure in Canada. I am a young woman from the USA. I work as a software engineer. I write computer programs every day. I work very hard. My family is ordinary, not rich, not poor, just normal people who love each other. One morning, I went to my office. My boss called me to his room. I felt very nervous. My heart was beating fast. Oh no, I thought, did I do something wrong? Will he fire me? But my boss was smiling. He gave me a white envelope. Sarah, he said, your last project was very successful. The company made a lot of money. This is a reward for your hard work. I opened the envelope slowly. Inside was a plane ticket. A vacation to Canada for 4 days. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I had never been to Canada before. I arrived at Toronto Airport in Canada, but I had a big problem. The airport was huge. I felt confused. Where should I go? I looked at my phone for hotel information, but I couldn't find the right direction. I walked around with my heavy luggage. I was getting tired and worried. Then a young man saw me. He looked about my age. He had kind eyes and a friendly smile. Are you lost? He asked. You look confused. Yes, I said. I can't find my hotel. Let me help you, he said. His name was Alex. He helped me find a taxi to my hotel. I was so grateful. Thank you so much, I said. No problem, Alex replied. Enjoy your stay in Canada. The next day, I went to see Parliament Hill. It's a famous place in Ottawa. The buildings were beautiful. I took many photos. While I was walking, I saw a small ceremony. A Canadian soldier was changing the guard. Many tourists were watching. The soldier wore a red uniform. It was very impressive. I felt happy watching this special moment. Canada was more beautiful than I imagined. After Parliament Hill, I got lost again. I took the wrong bus. I didn't know where I was. The sun was getting low. I felt worried. I stood at a bus stop looking at my map. Suddenly, someone said, Sarah, is that you? I looked up. It was Alex, the same young man from the airport. What a coincidence. Alex, I said, I'm lost again. He laughed. Don't worry. I know this city very well. Come, I'll help you. We both realized something strange. We kept meeting by accident. Maybe it was destiny. Alex took me to a nice ice cream shop. We ordered different flavors. I chose strawberry. He chose chocolate. Tell me about yourself, Alex said. I told him about my job, my family, and my life in America. He told me about his work as a photographer. He loved taking pictures of nature. We talked and laughed for 2 hours. I felt comfortable with him. He was funny and kind. We had many things in common. Before we left, We exchanged phone numbers. "I hope we can meet again," Alex said. "Me too," I replied. That night, I was in my hotel room. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Alex. "Hi, Sarah. Would you like to have coffee tomorrow? I know a great place." I smiled. My heart felt warm. "Yes, I would love that," I typed back. I couldn't sleep that night. I was thinking about Alex. He made me feel special. The next morning, Alex picked me up from my hotel. We went to a small coffee shop near the river. The place was cozy and quiet. We ordered coffee and pastries. Alex had brought his camera. He showed me beautiful photos of Canadian landscapes. "You're very talented," I said. "Thank you," he replied. "You know, I usually don't talk to strangers, but with you, it feels natural." We walked by the river after coffee. The morning sun made everything look golden. Alex stopped walking. "Sarah," he said softly, "I know we just met, but I feel a special connection with you." I looked into his eyes. I felt the same way. "I feel it too," I whispered. He took my hand gently. We walked together in comfortable silence. My last day in Canada came too quickly. Alex came to see me off at the airport. "This isn't goodbye," he said. "I want to visit you in America soon." "I would love that," I said. He gave me a small gift. It was a photo he took of Parliament Hill. On the back, he wrote for Sarah, who made my city more beautiful. I felt tears in my eyes. Happy tears. We hugged goodbye. I promised to call him every day. On the plane back to America, I looked at Alex's photo. I thought about our wonderful time together. What started as a work reward became something much more special. Sometimes the best adventures happen when we least expect them. Sometimes strangers become the most important people in our lives. I couldn't wait to see Alex again. My Canadian adventure was just the beginning of our story. A new chapter begins. The flight home felt both endless and painfully short. As the plane descended over Chicago, my heart was a tangle of emotions. I was eager to see my family and return to the familiar rhythm of my life, my ordinary daily routine of code and coffee. Yet, a significant part of me was still standing in the Toronto airport, holding Alex's hand. I clutched the photograph of Parliament Hill, the reward from my boss that had led to a reward of a very different kind. The first week back was a strange adjustment. My office, once a space of pure focus, now felt like a backdrop for my daydreams. My colleagues noticed a change. "Sarah, you seem different," my friend and fellow engineer, Mark, commented over lunch. "Less stressed, Canada agreed with you." I just smiled, a secret glowing inside me. Every evening, without fail, my phone would light up with a call or a message from Alex. Our conversations became the highlight of my day, a bridge spanning the 500 miles between us. We talked about everything: his latest photography project, capturing the autumn leaves in Algonquin Park, my difficult debugging of a complex software module, our shared love for old movies, and our different yet similar family dynamics. One cold October evening, about a month after my return, Alex said something that made my heart skip a beat. "I've been looking at flights to Chicago for Thanksgiving weekend," he said, his voice a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would your family mind?" I was so excited. "They would love to meet you," I replied instantly, though a flutter of nervous anticipation settled in my stomach. Introducing a man I'd met on a vacation to my ordinary, close-knit family was a big step. The weeks leading up to his visit were a whirlwind. I found myself seeing my own city through the eyes of a future tourist, planning itineraries. Finally, the day arrived. Standing at the same airport where my journey had begun, I watched him walk through the arrival's gate. Seeing him in my world felt surreal and perfect. He pulled me into a warm hug, and the confused sense of distance vanished instantly. My family welcomed him with open arms. My mother, a practical and kind woman, had prepared a feast. My younger brother, fascinated by Alex's photography gear, asked a million questions. It was during a quiet moment after dinner, as Alex helped my dad wash dishes, that I saw it, the easy way he fit in. He wasn't a stranger anymore. He was becoming part of my story. The weekend was magical. We walked along the Lake Michigan shore, the wind whipping our hair. I took him to my favorite coffee shop downtown, and he photographed the city's dramatic skyline with an artist's eye. On his last night, we drove to a quiet spot outside the city to look at the stars. "It's not the Canadian wilderness," he joked, "but it's pretty perfect." He turned to me, his face serious in the dim light. "Sarah, these months of talking and now this, I don't want this to just be a long-distance adventure. I want it to be our life." His words hung in the cold air. "What are you saying, Alex?" I whispered. "I am saying I've been offered a freelance contract with a travel magazine here in the States. Their headquarters are in New York, but they allow remote work." He took both my hands. "I could base myself anywhere, and I want to base myself near you." Tears welled up in my eyes, but they were, once again, happy tears. It wasn't a simple solution. It meant a major change for him, leaving his network and familiar surroundings in Canada. We talked for hours, weighing the challenges and the incredible opportunity. The risk felt immense, but the potential reward of life built together felt worth it. 2 months later, Alex moved to Chicago. He found a small studio apartment not far from my place, perfect for his work. The transition wasn't always smooth. There were moments of frustration navigating U.S. tax forms for freelancers. The sheer size and pace of my city compared to Ottawa, and the inevitable lonely days when I was swamped at work. We had our first real argument over something silly, the best way to load a dishwasher, and it felt strangely comforting. It was normal. It was real. Our relationship was no longer a vacation fantasy. It was a shared life taking shape. We built routines, Sunday morning coffee and planning sessions for the week, Wednesday night dinners where we took turns cooking, Friday evenings exploring a new neighborhood with his camera in hand. I introduced him to the deep dish pizza debate, and he got me hooked on watching hockey, explaining the rules with patient enthusiasm. Then, in the spring, a new opportunity arose for me. My company wanted to start a collaborative project with a tech firm in Montreal. They needed a lead engineer who could manage the relationship and travel occasionally. My boss called me into his office, a moment that gave me a flashback to the day of the reward, and offered me the position. It felt like the universe was weaving our worlds together. I would get to work with cutting-edge technology and spend regular time in Alex's home country. Our first trip to Montreal together was a beautiful full-circle moment. Alex played tour guide with pride, showing me his favorite spots in the city and introducing me to his oldest friends. His French was fluent and musical, and seeing him in his element made me fall for him all over again. One evening, as we stood on Mount Royal looking over the illuminated city, he squeezed my hand. "Look at us," he said. "From two lost strangers in an airport to building a life across two countries." A year after that first fateful trip, Alex proposed. It wasn't a grand public gesture. It was a quiet morning in my Chicago apartment. He made coffee, and as he handed me my mug, I noticed a small familiar box beside it. It was a ring, simple and elegant. "Sarah," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "you were the most beautiful surprise of my life, my greatest adventure. Will you marry me?" There were no tears this time, just a profound, steady joy. "Yes," I said. 1,000 times, yes. Our wedding was small, held on the shores of Lake Louise in Alberta, a place of breathtaking natural beauty that Alex had always dreamed of photographing. Our families blended together, American and Canadian, under the majestic mountains. It was a celebration of the journey that had begun with a simple act of kindness in a busy airport. Today, we live in a cozy house in Chicago with a dedicated room for Alex's photography and a perfect quiet corner for my coding marathons. We still travel to Canada often, visiting his family and exploring new corners of the vast landscape. And I still use the shadowing technique, not just for language learning, but sometimes when Alex teaches me a French phrase, repeating after him until the sounds feel natural in my mouth. My story is a testament to the fact that life's most important paths often start from a point of being lost. That nervous young woman in the Toronto airport couldn't have imagined this future. She was just trying to find her hotel. But by being open to the help of a kind stranger, by embracing the coincidence and the connection, she found so much more. She found her way to a love that is as strong and enduring as the Canadian Rockies, and a happiness that is beautifully, wonderfully ordinary and extraordinary all at once. So, to all of you learning English, feeling a little nervous or confused, remember this: every conversation is a potential adventure. Every connection you make, no matter how brief, holds a spark of possibility. Don't let the fear of making mistakes stop you from speaking. Your own amazing story is waiting to be told, one word, one brave, shadowed sentence at a time. Keep practicing. Keep your heart open to surprise, and who knows? Your next reward might be just around the corner, perhaps even in a land far from home.